coronavirus continues to impact the local blood supply as canceled blood drives are causing significant drop in donations. Joining us via Zoom this morning from the Red Cross is Khris Anderson. Good morning, Khris.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for joining us. And we're talking about a very important topic here. We're talking about the shortage of blood in our community. Let's talk about the supply levels and what are we looking at right now?
Right now, we've just continued losing our blood product because we've had to cancel blood drives. A lot of our schools, our colleges, businesses, due to COVID-19 have actually closed, and we've not been able to collect the blood supply that we normally collect.
A lot of people, and understandably so, are a little apprehensive when it comes to donating blood. Maybe your regular donors, you're saying, are kind of pulling back. What can you say to people who may be on the fence about donating?
You know, it is so important to the Red Cross that we protect the donors as well as our staff and then our clients, you know, the people who actually use our blood products. So we were really quick to implement the social distancing. Blood drives do not look like they used to, and a lot of things have changed in our communities and the way we do things, and our blood drives are no different. We request that everyone make an appointment. You know, there's not a lot of people sitting in line and waiting. You make an appointment. You're 6 feet apart. You wear a mask. There's a lot of screenings both before you actually enter the building and then even in health history. So we have made this just as safe as we can as possible, and we feel really good about the procedures that we put in place to protect our donors.
The blood donations, the supply, when we hear that the supply is low, it's especially concerning among the African American community, especially when they're dealing with sickle cell patients and those who depend on these donations year round. And for them not to get it, it's got to be almost devastating, not just for them, but for their families and for those of you who work so hard to make sure they get what they need.
You know, it's interesting. We have had about a 50% decrease in donations from our African American community, and like every other community and every other group in North Alabama, you know, there's been a decline. But what's really important is that African American blood has special antibodies and antigens, and is the best blood possible to treat those with sickle cell anemia. So it is extremely important that we continue to get blood from this really important group. And you know, if there are any church-based groups, civic groups, organizations that could help us host a blood drive and really target this, that would be so helpful to the community.
And that's the next thing. I know a lot of blood drives have been canceled, but you guys are seeing that some faith-based groups are kind of stepping up, and they are able to hold blood drives, obviously keeping the social distancing and all those guidelines in mind.
Exactly. You know, and another thing is I know that you know, you talked about the river is packed and everyone's out on a boat. There's so much travel. I know there was you know, 65, if you travel 65, you know, there's so many people traveling. So we, at the same time we are in this corona world, we also have that increased travel, and then people are getting out, they've been cooped in. So the need for blood supply is going up for everyone, and those who always have used blood, you know, our cancer patients and those with certain disorders, the need for blood has never gone down. So this is real important. I know that so many people stepped up at the beginning when we first sent out that cry for blood. It was just the most amazing thing to see people come out and give blood at the very beginning of this, and I really believe that that people need to know that it is still desperately, desperately needed.
All right, let's keep that push going. Khris Anderson with the American Red Cross, thank you so much for your time and everything that you guys do. And of course, we encourage all of you to donate blood if you can. Thank you, Khris.
Thank you so much.
Time now is 6:09 on your Monday morning.